Thanks for looking at this video. So what we're talking about today are conversion factors. So this is a list of all different conversion factors. And what they are is basically just the relationship between two different types of measurements. So for example, 1 year is equal to 365 days. If I know how many years I have, I can figure out how many days I have on the other side, right? So if I have 2 years, I would have double the amount of days. So they're proportionally related to each other. So we're going to start using these throughout the units provided. So we're going to use this throughout our entire year in chemistry. And we're going to do this to change things into different things so that we can start to discuss amounts, and we can change from big numbers to small numbers, and we can use this to our advantage. So in order to do this, you have to start with what you have. So we also have to start with something. So in our case with days, right, if I have 2 years, let's just say 2 years, that's what I have, right? So the next thing that we have to do is use a conversion factor. So a conversion factor is one of those relationships. So in our case, our conversion factor was 1 year equals 365 days. And so we're going to start setting this up. So on the bottom here, in this part, these units match these starting units. Okay. And then on the top, this is where you put the units you want to end with, right? So down here in our example, so if we're doing this, so if on the bottom, the units that have to match is our years. And the new units on the top, the units that I want, are days. And on the other side, what I'm going to get is the measurement I want, right? The converted measurement. So let's add in our numbers now. So for every 1 year, I have 365 days. And in order to do this, I would do 2 times this number right here, and that would give me the converted number of days, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to do this out with a couple of the problems from our homework. So a runner completed a 5-mile run. How many yards did she run? So let's take a peek at this. This is a really good problem because it actually involves a couple different steps. So we're going to look at what this is. So a runner completed a 5-mile run. I'm going to underline that first. How many yards? So I know what I have, what I'm starting with, and I know where I want to end. So let's start to convert this. So we're going to start with what I have. So that's 5 miles. Pop that over 1. And then I'm going to start to fill. So now I have to find the conversion factor that gets me from miles to something else. So I don't know what that thing is yet. Could I find one with yards, or could I find something with something different? So let's look through here. So we're going to end up with yards to meters. Do we have miles? Oh, we got miles. We got miles to feet, and we have miles to kilometers. Okay, let's look a little bit more. So I know that I can get to kilometers. Do I have a kilometers to yards? I don't have a kilometers to yards relationship either. So do I have a feet to yards? I do, right here. So I have the feet and the yards. So now I know I can go from miles to feet. I'm still not done though, because the problem is that I'm going to be left in feet. So these two will cancel out. These 2 miles, they're canceled. Let's add another one, right? Let's add another one. Feet. And then we know that the yards, which was also on my conversion sheet, so that's feet to yards. So we know we can end with yards. And now let's enter in the numbers. So I haven't even entered in any real numbers yet until I found out where everything kind of needs to go. I planned the journey across this page. So how many miles to feet? So it is 5,280 feet for every 1 mile. And then for every 3 feet, I have 1 yard. So I'm going to put those into my calculator. I'm going to do 5 times 5,280 times 1, divided by 1, divided by 1, divided by 3, and I'm going to get 8,800 yards. Ending with that unit that I wanted. So again, these feet cancel out. There. This canceling out, making sure that they're diagonally placed, that's a little nice feature of how to make sure you've set up this problem correctly. So let's look at another one with pound cake. So what if we had pound cake and we wanted to call it in grams? So pound cake, we're just going to assume is a pound. So I know I'm going to have to cancel out that pound piece first. So let's see what relationships we have. Do we have, so this is for mass. So gram to milligrams, nope. Kilogram to grams, no. Pounds to kilograms, pound to ounces, pound to kilograms I could do, and that one above it, the kilograms to grams. So we can place those in. So for every 2.2 pounds, I have 1 kilogram. And then I said that I have to get rid of this kilogram and change it to grams, right? Because we're trying to figure out what this is over in grams. So for every 1 kilogram, I have 1,000 grams. And we do this out, and what we get is 455 grams. So if you're struggling with this in general, I really want you to go back and play with that video game kind of thing that we had, that click and drag process. But really, it's just finding out what you need and want. So if I have 180 days, and I'm trying to figure out how many hours of something. So if I'm in the school 180 days, and I want to know how many hours throughout those 180 days I spend here, 7 hours a day, is 1 day. The days are going to cancel. There's only 7 hours that we're here, and we're here for 1,260 hours for the year. That's 1,260 hours that we're going to continue to use conversion factors. So please make sure that you're good with these. Again, watch the videos, make sure you're here, use your extra help availability if you can. All right, talk to you soon.